Hello everyone, welcome to the Literary and Jury Charge for the 120 class. We're going to start off with a medical article. This is called "It's Official Inactivity Increases Coronary Risk." All right, here we go. Ready? For years, the American Heart Association, known as AHA, has stressed the importance of modifying the big three coronary risk factors: cigarette smoking, high blood pressure, and cholesterol, by means of drug therapy and changes in lifestyles. In its latest position statement, the AHA has added a fourth factor: persons of all ages should include physical activity in a comprehensive program of health promotion and disease prevention. The AHA statement also noted that exercise can lower both cholesterol and blood pressure and help control diabetes and obesity. Evidence that exercise offers important health benefits has been accumulating for years. At least one study has shown that by reducing depression and anxiety, exercise also provides important psychological benefits. So why did the AHA wait so long before citing physical inactivity as a risk factor? The task force experts were concerned by the chicken-egg dilemma of which came first, good health or exercise. Were vigorous people active because they were healthy and had fewer medical problems? Or were these individuals healthy because they exercised? The AHA committee was reluctant to recommend exercise to the nation without being certain that this change in lifestyle would reduce heart attack risk. However, they now endorse aerobic activities such as hiking, running, stair climbing, cycling, cross-country skiing, and swimming. For the elderly, less intense physical activities such as walking and gardening are suggested. Unfortunately, physical activity can be hazardous as well as beneficial, and not all the dangers are related to cardiovascular health. Although falls and joint injuries are rarely life-threatening, they can still take a considerable toll. People who already have heart disease or other medical problems should consult their physician before initiating a vigorous exercise program. Great advice there. All right. I've got some jury charge for you. The subject here is negligence. All right, here we go. Ready? Members of the jury, the defendant, at the time of the installation, knew of the explosive character of the gas to be used in the operation of this gas stove. So the question here presented is whether or not he exercised ordinary care and prudence in making the installation, which he did make. The test of negligence in this case is the same as in other negligence cases, that is, the probability or foreseeability of injury to someone. If the defendant might have foreseen that, under the circumstances, some injury to someone was likely to result from his act or omission, he is liable for any injury proximately resulting. The gas to be used in this stove was a dangerous agency, of which the defendant had knowledge, and a higher degree of care is required in dealing with a dangerous agency than in the ordinary affairs of life or business, which involve little or no risk. Such higher degree of care in such case is ordinary care under these circumstances. If a person fails to exercise the degree of care required of him in dealing with dangerous instrumentalities or agencies, and negligently permits a danger to exist which results in injury to another, without negligence on the part of the person so injured, he is answerable for the injury so sustained. The degree of care varies with the danger involved, and where the danger is great, a higher degree of care must be exercised. From anything the court has said or done in this case, you are not to understand that he has any opinion as to the facts appearing in evidence. It is the duty and province of the jury to weigh the evidence which has been introduced in the case and to determine what fact or facts evidence establishes, and having done so, to apply to such facts the law as stated in these instructions. Right. Got a little paragraph here on food descriptions, budget eateries. This is part 2 of what we read the other day. All right. This is on Clud's Gastropub and Deli. Okay, ready? Clud's Gastropub and Deli, 110 Orange Street, Redlands, 951-335-4863. CludsGastropub.com. Nothing represents quintessential all-American cheap eats better than the hot dog, and it's pretty exciting when exotic meats such as wild boar, ostrich, alligator, elk, and more are treated with cultural influences from around the globe. At Clud's, a lively sports-themed gastropub, guests choose their sausage, then add some condiments, anything from coleslaw to bacon jam, and sauces. Think mango salsa or habanero aioli. Pre-designed preparations include a classic Chicago dog, priced at $6.49, right down to the neon green relish and celery salt. It's as real as the 2016 Cubs, and a Greek-inspired version that layers feta cheese and cucumbers over lamb sausage at $7.49. There's even a vegetarian deli dog with Indian masala seasoning and specialties like duck bacon tacos and a satisfying pork schnitzel sandwich at $8.99. Wash it down with a local craft beer at a communal picnic table beneath a tin stamped ceiling or out on the patio. All right, and that word was quintessential. Quintessential. You probably should put that one in your dictionary. All right. I know those are challenging, but it's great practice. So that's why I try to get some of these off-the-wall articles to read, because they are such great practice. Okay. All right. I've got an article here on property. Okay. Actually, no, it's not. That's not the right one. Hold on one second. Yeah, this is on handicapped Americans. All right, here we go. Ready? Mr. Speaker, it is my privilege to introduce in the House today a resolution designating April 12th as National Handicapped Americans Day. Those of us who have served on the House Committee for Advancement of Handicapped Veterans are quite proud of the long and outstanding record achieved by the Congress of the United States in responding to the needs of the handicapped, and especially to those who have served in the defense of our nation. During the past several years, we have been able to enact legislation to care for their physical and medical needs. We also have helped to foster a general awareness and a better understanding and appreciation of the veterans who have suffered and sacrificed in the line of duty for their country. Congress has recently authorized and improved extensive programs to provide readjustment compensation and rehabilitation services to assist the handicapped person in overcoming the obstacles that are confronted. Although we have made great strides in helping the handicapped, there is a lot that still can be done. In particular, the disabled person needs to become part of the mainstream of society. We need to encourage the handicapped to live more productive, full, and rewarding lives. On April 12th, the National Organization for Handicapped Americans will hold its national convention in Missouri. Thousands of handicapped Americans will be attending this convention. The National Organization for Handicapped Americans will be sponsoring workshops on self-awareness, job potentials, and mainstreaming. The organization's representatives have invited as their keynote speaker Richard Wayburn, Governor of Mississippi, who is a handicapped American. At the request of the National Organization for Handicapped Americans, I am proud to introduce this legislation that will be held on April 12th as National Handicapped Americans Day. All right. I've got some fun facts for you from my 2200 Fascinating Facts book. And this is on the body. Okay. The body. Part 1. There's a couple different parts, so we'll tackle part 1 today. All right, here we go. A sneeze can travel as fast as 100 miles per hour. As men and women get older, their ability to hear high-pitched sounds diminishes. The ability to taste sweet foods also decreases with age. The human nose can detect the odor of artificial musk in such low concentrations as 1 part musk to 32 billion parts of air. The easiest sounds for the human ear to hear, and those which carry best when pronounced, are, in order, ah, eh, e, and oo. The sound heard by a listener when holding a seashell to his ear does not come from the shell itself. It is the echo of the blood pulsing in the listener's own ear. A person's nose and ears continue to grow throughout his or her life. The nose cleans, warms, and humidifies over 500 cubic feet of air every day. Human eyes are so sensitive that on a clear night, when there is no moon, a person sitting on a mountain peak can see a match struck 50 miles away. It is impossible to sneeze and keep one's eyes open at the same time. While reading a page of print, the eyes do not move continually across the page. They move in a series of jumps called fixations from one clump of words to the next. 2 out of 3 adults in the United States wear glasses at some time. It takes the human eyes an hour to adapt completely to seeing in the dark. Once adapted, however, the eyes are about 100,000 times more sensitive to light than they are in bright sunlight. The human eyes can perceive more than 1 million simultaneous visual impressions and are able to discriminate among nearly 8 million gradations of color. The average person's field of vision is 180 degrees. Sight accounts for 90 to 95% of all sensory perceptions. The pupil of the eye expands as much as 45% when a person looks at something pleasing. Blue eyes are the most sensitive to light, dark brown the least sensitive. It takes 17 muscles to smile and 43 muscles to frown. The average person's hand flexes its finger joints 25 million times during a lifetime. 1/4 of the 206 bones in the human body are located in the feet. Lots of fun facts there. There's more, but I will stop. All right, so I'm going to be reading a little bit from the Evolution of Monstrosity. This is true stories of real life serial killers. And there's different types, and that's what this is talking about. So the first one that we're going to read about is Ed Gein, the original psycho. Now, a lot of this is disturbing, but as I tell every class, you need to learn to write anything that comes your way. So even if it's disturbing, just try to not think about it so much and just try to focus on what you're writing, okay? So especially if you work in court, you're going to hear everything in court. So, you know, criminal matters, and you're going to hear rape cases and, murders. And unfortunately, you have to learn to just write what you hear, okay? All right. So we're going to start with Ed Gein, the original psycho. Let me just date this. All right. Ready? Ed Gein, who killed in rural Wisconsin in the 1950s, is perhaps one of the more notorious hedonistic lust killers. He was the character on whom Robert Bloch's novel Psycho and Alfred Hitchcock's film of the same name were based, and part of the composite character of Buffalo Bill, the serial killer who skinned his victims in the novel and movie The Silence of the Lambs. Officially, Gein is known to have killed 2 local women, which technically speaking excludes him from some definitions of serial killers that insist on 3 or more victims, but he was suspected in several other local homicides. He looked like a harmless farm elf with one those flannel ear-flapped hats and his shirt buttoned to the top. So it should say one of those flannel. So sorry about that. They left off of. His only reason to kill was that he needed to harvest human body parts, especially the husk of a female head and torso that he wore like a bodysuit. Ed Gein lived alone on a farm after his mother and brother died, and was known in the community as slightly odd but harmless. Nobody knew he had been robbing graves of freshly buried corpses for years. In 1954, however, he killed a local woman and dragged her body on a sled back to his farm. His crime was never detected. In 1957, after Bernice Warden, a local hardware store clerk, disappeared and somebody remembered seeing Gein in the premises earlier, the police visited his farm. They found a human heart in a pan on the stove, human entrails in the refrigerator, a shoebox with 9 ears in it, another box containing 4 noses, a pair of stockings made from human skin, a soup bowl fashioned out of a human skull, a vest made from a female torso, skulls mounted on Ed Gein's bedposts, 9 masks made out of the flesh of female faces, some hanging on the walls as decoration, a human scalp in a cereal box, a drum fashioned out of human skin, 4 chairs whose upholstery was made of human skin, caked in dripping fat, various pieces of jewelry fashioned out of body parts, and 10 female heads. Many of the artifacts had been rubbed down with oil to keep their luster. The human masks were made up with lipstick. A red ribbon was tied through one of the ears. In Ed Gein's summer kitchen, they found the headless and quartered corpse of Bernice Warden hanging from the rafters like a freshly killed deer. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. There is more, but I'm going to stop because we've gone way over. Okay, so we'll finish that, the rest of that in our next literary and jury charge. Okay, so have a great day. Thank you for watching.